Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to ignite your curiosity, amplify your knowledge, and dive into the vibrant world of Resonate, the IEEE Experience, an electrifying podcast of IEEE Bombay Section Young Professionals. I am your enthusiastic host, Sahil Sawant, and I am thrilled to be your guide on this exciting journey of exploration and inspiration. Resonate, the IEEE Experience podcast, showcases the profound impact of IEEE on lives and careers. Discover personal stories, insights, and success stories from inspiring IEEE members ranging from seasoned professionals to young talents. So fasten your seat belts, grab your headphones, and get ready to be swept away by Resonate, the IEEE Young Professionals podcast. Join us as we unravel the wonders of technology, connect with like minded individuals, and empower ourselves with knowledge that transcends boundaries. Let me introduce you to our very special guest for the inaugural episode of Resonate. Joining us today is the remarkable Ramneek Kalra. In this episode, we have the privilege of delving into Ramneek's world, exploring his motivations, and unraveling the stories behind his incredible achievements. From his early inspirations to his current ventures, we'll discover the essence of his creative process, the challenges he has overcome, and the lessons he has learned along the way. With an unwavering dedication to social impact, he has used his expertise to address pressing global challenges and create sustainable solutions that uplift communities. Ramnik's extraordinary contributions have earned him the well deserved title of an IEEE Impact Creator. But what truly makes this conversation extraordinary is Ramnik's down to earth nature and his ability to connect on a personal level. As we engage in a casual yet meaningful conversation, you will experience firsthand his infectious enthusiasm, his genuine humility, and his natural ability to inspire those around him. Welcome to the show, Ramnik.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sahil. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon your time zone. You're going to look onto this podcast. I would say, like being roam around a lot of cities, countries across like globe, and with respect to IEEE volunteering and other kind of non-profit organization I am attached to and I am volunteering with. It's always great to connect via some of the sources, let's say podcasts, webinars, in-person activities, to make to I would say it's a cross learning from you all as well as making some part of contribution what I have experienced so far till date in my IEEE volunteering. I know there are a lot of seniors around the globe in IEEE and other organizations, but it's just a sense of I would say gratitude what I want to share back to IEEE Young Professionals Bombay section. I hope you will enjoy the podcast. Over to you, Sahil.
Thank you so much, Ramnik. Thank you for coming to the podcast. So, when was the first time that you interacted with IEEE that hooked you to the organization?
Yeah, sure. Before answering that, I just forgot that to everyone who is listening on to this podcast, this is just a disclaimer for you all that I'm not redirecting or I'm not pointing to any organization or any group of individual. All the discussion what we are going to have in the podcast will be my personal view, personal experiences, and only redirected through my past experiences just to share back to you in course of learning something. Coming to your question, when actually I just got to know, oh, that's an IEEE, which is kind of very cool and we can do and a lot of contribution back to society and what actually hooked me up. I was in my second year when one of the professors from electrical electronics background, she came into our class and she announced, hello everyone, hello students, we are going to start IEEE student branch in our college and this is the joining details and this is how you can do and these are all the benefits. On that day, you won't believe the time when she announced the IEEE opening, I was like so excited to understand, oh, there's a global world's largest technical professional organization for engineers where I can actually be a part and every year to year, day to day, I can understand what's actually going on around the market. So just to get the curiosity and just to get the awareness about what's going on around me, being a computer science student, always and forever, I will be a computer science engineer. Just to understand what's going on, what is robotics, what are the different 3D printing, AI, ML, and all other ground basic stuff, how we are using technology for impacting on the society. That was one and only point and the segment I would say which actually hooked me to IEEE till date.
That's very inspiring. So, at that time, did you realize that there must be so many avenues to IEEE, be it technical, social, or humanitarian, that you can explore as a budding individual?
Oh, that's, I would say, not at all, because being a new IEEE student branch, my professor was also not aware what's happening across our Delhi section and what's happening across regional and global or council level. That's the benefit of it, I would say. Like being a self-learner, I always want to devote half an hour, 1 hour out of my evening time after my college, just to understand, hey, what's on IEEE.org today, just to explore what are the different initiative projects and different I would say avenues being started. So is that's the time to time I learned it. Time, like I won't say that okay on the first day when I joined in March 2017 or 2016 I would definitely get all the insights right away. Not at all. It's a learning through process. So I learned year to year, month to month, day to day, just to see what's going on around me. And yeah, that's pretty much right now as well. I am exploring daily. I am learning something new. What's happening in IEEE and different IEEE OUs across globe.
Absolutely, it's a learning journey, that I must say, because when you join your student branch as a young student, you are not aware about what other opportunities IEEE is going to be offering you. When I joined my student branch, I just knew that okay, there's just a student branch and we have to conduct some events. But when you explore more about IEEE, when you find out that oh, there's a section level or there's regional level or similar such other opportunities are being offered by IEEE, you get to know that how vast this organization is. I mean, that's exactly how IEEE has its success. It's because of the vast number of opportunities and the vast number of members that it is having. That is why we are getting the so many chances with diverse individuals getting knowledge from diverse set of people. And so yeah, as and when you explore, you get to learn new things. So they say that if you are friends with someone for 7 years, you are associated with them for lifetime. How impactful has this association of yours been with IEEE in terms of your career?
Okay, that's kind of an interesting question because I haven't heard about that quotation that for at least 7 years you are, so it's a habit of being a lifetime partner or lifetime association, but it's okay. So I like I will tell you this recent example. For the last 4 days, I was in Coimbatore, Kotagiri, Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu. I was hosting one of the IEEE Computer Society sponsored event, IEEE Learn Compute Camp, which I proposed to IEEE Computer Society Diversity and Inclusiveness Committee, and they approved my funding and approved my sponsorship. So when I was returning back from Coimbatore to Delhi, from the flight to Chennai to Delhi, there was a layover, right? And I the flight attendant came to me for giving some beverages and food, and I asked her, hey, is there a chance that I can get into the cockpit and I can talk with the captains to understand what's going on? I just, like, as an engineer, I'm really, right, we are curious to know what are the different hardware software is being deployed on an airplane. So that's why I was interested. And she asked the captains, and captains was like, yeah, for sure, she can he and his team surely can meet us in the cockpit once all the people are onboarded from the craft. And we went to the cockpit 100%, and we understood about how the communication happens, what are the different components they use while we are in the clouds. And then I explained about her that this is what we are, this is why we were in Coimbatore, we were doing this IEEE activity for tribal school students. And she was so excited. The captain was so much excited that, oh, that's great, that's interesting. And I personally believe that wherever you go, right, now being in IEEE for the last 7+ years, even if I am going on a family trip on a different city, right, or different country, so I know the persons who will be local guide to me. I can call, oh, okay, this is my Gujarat, IEEE Gujarat section friends. This is my IEEE Tamil Madras section friend. This is my IEEE Bombay section friends. So even I am on my family trip, I know the people who are going to guide me locally. So that's kind of an association I've been in IEEE. And recently, in last week of April, I was in New Jersey for IEEE board meeting and in the under IEEE Education Activities Board. And I visited IEEE headquarters for 3 times. Even the receptionist was saying, oh, you are back again. And I was like, yeah. I was joking with staff member that you're going to give me a temporary employee ID card for at least 3 days so that I can enjoy how IEEE employees and IEEE staff members work in IEEE headquarters. So that was really fun. And the respect, I would say the friendship and the relationship which you make with IEEE volunteers and IEEE staff members, that's priceless. And it's always a great saying, right? Volunteers aren't worthless, they are priceless because they are the main backbone of a non-profit organization, and that's what we all are up to.
You have very rightly said that the volunteers are very valuable. I personally have found some of my very dearest friends thanks to IEEE, be it in the section, be it in my SB, or not just juniors but seniors who are very helpful. They are, selfless, who are ready to, be there for you, guide you at any hour. And I'm very thankful to the IEEE organization for getting to connect with such people. IEEE has one of the largest collection of research papers with diverse content. How did you decide to dive into this vast repository as an avid reader and an author?
So before answering your recent question, I would like to add on one funny statement to the previous question. You were talking about association with IEEE for the last 7+ years. So I was jokingly talking with my IEEE friends when they came up for the activity in North India. And I was like, ma'am, we should have an IEEE driving license, right? The membership card should be used as a driving license because we are the social contributors, like other government officers who are actually helping the society to build up. We are also doing it from our technical and non-technical knowledge. So we should also get that kind of VIP respect that, okay, these are IEEE members, please give them a separate queue to enter into the airport or give them a separate queue to do a check-in or security check-in. So that's kind of great. I'm just waiting for that moment. Let's see when that's going to happen, if possible. Okay. Now, coming to your recent question, right? How I became that particular reader and author. Now, as I mentioned in the previous few questions, like being a self-learner and cross-learner, I always devote my free time to learn about more in IEEE, and I always read IEEE Spectrum, IEEE membership benefits, email, newsletter which we receive monthly,
Yes.
and that actually creates an impact. That's actually make me understand, okay, NVIDIA is doing this, right? Cisco is doing this. All the partners with IEEE who are technical sponsors to IEEE activities or IEEE global team, they are partner with the societies, whether it is computer society, power energy, robotics, or any kind of 39 technical societies, they are part of it. The sense you cannot get while you're working from home, right? You cannot get the sense what's happening around the market. So I guess IEEE is the one of the professional home. That's our IEEE president always used to say that, IEEE is your professional home. I really second that statement, and I would urge and request all the listeners to our podcast today to understand what IEEE is for you. Once you become a young professional, right, that's going to impact you a lot, because being a student, you are limited to your student branch, you are limited to your section. But once you become a YP, you are actually expanding your limit across the global teams. You are expanding your limit to understand the diverse and different nature, different culture of the people around different IEEE regions. And that's why I'm interested in reading and authoring what my experience is so far. That's why, I guess, to the upcoming question, I will definitely point out few of the things which might be helping listeners to know more about how to become author, or how to become a reader, or how to become a contributor to writing.
Of course, you have authored an amazing book, Idea to Product, a research pathway for students in IEEE USA. Can you let us know what was the motivation behind it?
Oh, that's a funny thing, like, because recently, like 17 March 2020, the lockdown happened in India, right, due to COVID-19. And I was in my organization near to my home only. It's like 1 hour, 2 hours. So when this announcement came from the government, and right away I took my car and came back to the home after working so much from office in Bangalore and Greater Noida. And that was kind of happy moment. But suddenly, like in June 2020, I realized, oh, lockdown is going to make me bored. Let me do something interesting. So all my design thinking approach, my research writing paper approach, what I have been how I am using my academic-based learning into society, how I can make softwares and products across different departments and organizations where I can support and I can volunteer. This happened since I guess class 10th. So since my grade 10th, I have been doing all these activities. Okay, ma'am, need a software for this school activity or school department or a school particular process or mechanism. Okay, I know Java, I know MySQL in my 11th class. Let me create a software for them. So this has been my approach to solve problem statement, and that's where idea to product, the title came into the role. So I was just reading one another book of Paul Kostick, one of the IEEE hack member and IEEE US member in US. So I was just reading his book, How to Do 101 with Your Manager, because I was a fresher into industry. So I was learning about this from IEEE USA Careers website, ebooks. And I read that book. In the last page, I found Paul Kostick email ID, and I just dropped an email to, hey, good evening, Paul from India, Ramneek this side. I just recently read your book of How to Do 101 with Your Managers. And it really inspired me and motivated me to learn more things, how I can be more stable into my corporate environment, being IEEE YP. I'm just curious to know what is the process of writing IEEE USA book. And you don't know, like you won't believe it. In the morning I emailed when it was a midnight for him. In the evening when it came to be morning for him, he replied by editing, by CCing the editor-in-chief of IEEE USA ebooks program, Georgia. And I was so surprised that how much helpful all these IEEE USA members are, and of course all across the globe IEEE members are there to help each other. And then I replied back to Georgia, hey Georgia, this is what my title and the agenda I am looking forward to publish. Can you please let me know the formatting and the process, how to get ready? And she shared me a Word document sample and font size, font name, and all those kind of spacing, what I need to be doing for my book. And there we go. Within 15 days, I wrote 25 pages of my book, and I got it published in December 2020. That's how the process all got started. And the main intention to write this book was all to share my all 5 years plus IEEE membership experience and all my personal experience in the research space and design thinking space and project learning, of course, so that the undergraduate students who are kind of confused now as well, if I go for a college session, right, I see that final year graduate students are not aware even about how to write a paper. Now, how they will learn, right? So after reading all these books, podcasts, webinars, and sessions which we do and events we do, I guess that's going to impact them a lot. And I surely, I would say, emphasize to all the listeners that there are only three major benefits of IEEE. Funnily, I would say it as PVN model of IEEE. You can just Google it, PVN model of IEEE. You will get my LinkedIn article on the top. It's not a chemistry or physics formula or something. It's just participation, volunteering, and networking. These are the major three benefits being an IEEE member. So it depends upon you how you're going to participate. Do you want to participate? Okay, what are the different things you can do while participating? How you're going to volunteer? How you can grab volunteering opportunity? And how you can create opportunity for yourself. That's one of the most important thing. And networking, of course, it's very much important to increase your diversity content, which we'll be talking a lot in the upcoming questions. Yeah.
Well, I must say, Ramneek, I am very much excited to know more about your experiences with IEEE and how you have helped in, creating an impact on the community. And well, talking about impact, we have the IEEE Impact Creator with us today. So, can you tell us what exactly an IEEE Impact Creator is?
Yeah, so January 2020, when I was in Greater Noida, I got a call from Mumbai, one of the media partner of IEEE. Their office is in Mumbai, and they called me, hey Ramneek, we are calling from this organization, and we are IEEE media partner from IEEE USA team, and we would like to know if you are interested to become IEEE Impact Creator. Obviously, that term was new for me as well at that time. I was just a recent graduate, and someone randomly calling me on a call, hey, we are calling from Mumbai, we are IEEE media partner, I want you to check if you can become IEEE member, IEEE Impact Creator. And I was like, okay, what is it? Can you please let me know the responsibilities? Then he fully explained and I understood the process. So there's a global committee called as IEEE Public Visibility Committee, which handles IEEE transmitter website, okay? And all other public visibility activities in IEEE global handle. So what, as an IEEE Impact Creator, what we have to do, we have to write and contribute back to our technical knowledge about different technologies. Let's say how you can use edge computing in space technology, how you can use artificial intelligence, how you can use cybersecurity for the upcoming 5 years. All those kind of future predicted based articles, that is where Impact Creator being on a specific domain, I contribute back to articles, let's say Hindustan Times, Times of India, BBC, anything. So all these news media partner reach out to IEEE US office, and IEEE US office redirects where that request, from which country that request came to. And those local IEEE media partners who are sitting in Mumbai, they helped us out to connect with all across IEEE Impact Creator across India Council to understand if they are interested to contribute article or contribute a quotation or a blog on that particular specific topic. So this is what IEEE Impact Creator does.
Oh wow, that sounds fascinating. I'm pretty sure all the content writers who are watching this podcast right now, you guys must be very excited to know about this. So I would really recommend you to go and check out what an IEEE impact creator is and try to create an impact on the society, just like how Ramneek has been doing it. So coming back to the topic that we were talking about, Ramneek, can you tell us a few of the key initiatives that you have launched or you have started while being an IEEE impact creator?
Yeah. So let me get to the background context so that members can understand what I am up to, why I am in IEEE for the last 7+ years. Like many of the times when a person or when an IEEE student member graduates and get into industry, they say, oh man, this office kind of corporate work sucks a lot. So the main thing is like how you're going to balance between your time and energy, right? I don't balance my time, I balance my energy, because right now as well, a lot of things are going around me, but I'm sitting here for the podcast with you. I'm just managing my 1 hour of energy with you. I'm not managing my time. I'm not kind of having a to-do list or something. I really don't think how that's going to work. And giving to the background context, why I'm been IEEE for the last 7+ years now, after my graduation as well, there are four major objectives which I focus on. So the first one is how to enhance pre-university education. Now, while we were in our schools, we were not having a lot of resources talking about Java, AI, ML, Python, and all the stuff. Now, if you see the curriculum of 11th, 12th grade student, or even 8th class student in India, you will be amazed to see how they're going to use coding and how they're going to make software, microcontrollers, coding, Arduino, Raspberry Pi. They all know these stuff these days. When I was in Coimbatore last 4 days and we were doing this pre-university session for government students there in Kodagiri, Nilgiri Hills, I was amazed to note they were well aware about DNS, how IP, how TCP, firewall works, right? All those kind of cybersecurity and internet safety terms, they were well aware. And just imagine they are government school children. And then I got inspired. Oh, that's what Sundar Pichai mentioned in 2017 when he came to IIT Kharagpur, mentioning that anyone across India, anyone from a small space village or a backward village or from any tribal group, a school student who is right now having a mission to become a CEO of Google, they can surely become. So as an engineer, as a IEEE young professional, I think that's our prime duty to give the knowledge back to the pre-university level, to bridge the gap between pre-university and university and industry. Then my second objective is to make, I would say, career-based sessions and give them advices to the university students, all the undergraduates and postgraduate students, because they are in that particular mud where they don't know what to do next. They don't know what kind of market is demanding, what is market skills set we need to work on, right? That's where I'm helping them as a second objective. The third one, being a recent industrialist, right? You are a IEEE YP style of your own, right? So you
Yeah.
know the pain once you enter from graduation to industry. It seems to be a dark cave, right? We don't know what's going to happen, how I'm going to handle, how I'm going to talk with my colleagues, how I need to present or need to talk with our customers. That are the major interpersonal skills which we need young professionals to work on. And that's why we have this affinity group called as IEEE Young Professionals in IEEE. And the last very important and close to my heart where I work closely, that is IEEE Women Engineering, because I personally believe that motivating girls and women around us to get into engineering and technical and STEM fields gonna make a lot of great difference. Why do you think that this is kind of, I'm not contradicting, but just think about this, right? Why we don't have leaders as a part of, as girls, right? Why we don't have women and girls leaders in industry? They're around, like, as far as I remember, the figure can be wrong, but there's a very less percentage to 20 to 30% women leaders across different companies. We won't find much CEOs and chief executive officers who are women. Why is it so? So that's where our affinity group, Women Engineering IEEE, is focusing on. And personally me, I am focusing on from the pre-university, university and industry level. I am focusing on all these three stages so that I can focus on bringing girls and women around. And me personally, within my current organization, I am really blessed to have all my women leaders, all my women managers, because it really inspired me, and it really keep me in a comfort zone, because women by default nature, right, they are caring, they are respectful, they know how to handle the situation very well. If you see, compare male and female, right, male will be very much strict and aggressive, hey, do this work by this deadline, right, and women will say, oh, okay, it's fine, I can understand your situation, okay, you settle down first, things happen in life, you balance the things out, then we will come back to the topic, and then we will come back to this particular project which we are working on, and we will complete accordingly by working together. So that collaboration and caring nature of women by default, right, gonna impact a lot. And that's what IEEE is helping. And me personally, being in, I would say, the member of IEEE Reason 10 for this year, I'm actually helping a lot to get women and girls to get into STEM field, to understand why science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is very much important for their career. And yeah, that's what I would say. And coming to the instances and some of the projects which I worked on till date, the first one started in November 2020 when the lockdown was ongoing. And I was like, now I've graduated, where I should impact, like where I should, I was just curious to share back my name and my knowledge and my project into a newsletters of Reason 10 level. So I talked with the IEEE Reason 10 newsletter team, and I talked with them what kind of articles you are looking for. So they mentioned you can interview anyone, you can do a podcast, you can do a panel discussion with any group of IEEE volunteers or non-IEEE industries who are there to contribute, share back to the society. And I thought, okay, newsletter comes every quarter. I'm a tech person, and let's do a IEEE quarter tech talk table. So that's the initiative I initiated in November 2020. And now we have executed successfully 9 editions with the ample of sponsor support, like from IEEE Computer Society. I was in last week of December, I was hosting 8th edition in South America, Chile, San Diego. Before that, in May 2021, I was in uh, North Cap University, Gurugram, Haryana. And that's where things started changing. That was my first project, I would say, IEEE Quarter Tech Talk, which we do every quarter. And we do a panel discussion on a specific trending topic in technology and non-technical aspects. Right. This is first project which I do. The second project which I initiated was IEEE Women Engineering Project-Based Learning School Camp. Now, as a board member from the last year in IEEE Pre-University Education Coordination Committee in IEEE EA board, I got support from global team of IEEE Educational Activities Board, and Lorena Garcia, the chair of IEEE Pre-EU committee last year, she just messaged me, hey Ramneek, thank you for conducting this IEEE VPBL camp, and it seems to you are a very active volunteer. Would you like to join us? And I was like, yeah, why not? I would like to explore the opportunity, what's going outside India Council, outside Reason 10 at the global space, how I can contribute back. And then I joined Pre-University Education Coordination Committee, and I understood how IEEE Tri-Engineering, how IEEE members as a YP or as a student member or as a graduate student member, senior member, life member, they can contribute back to pre-U space, right? That's where the things started changing. And this project was basically to motivate school children from 8th to 12th grade to make them understand about technology. And it was a 1 week all hands-on workshop. And parents were involved, teachers were involved. I will share you a very inspiring, I would say, one instance. The closing ceremony of third edition was happening in Manavrachan University, Faridabad, Haryana, sponsored by IEEE Tri-Engineering team and IEEE Women Engineering Affinity Groups across India Council. We were having like a couple of 10 to 11 women engineering affinity groups across India Council. They were supporting us financially as well as from publicity and volunteering space level. Closing ceremony was happening, and I invited all the parents sitting in the auditorium to give us the feedback. How did they felt, right? How did they feel about the event for the 1 week whole camp? And the 8th class student who won the competition, won that particular camp, her mother came onto the stage and she mentioned, Ramneek, I cannot speak fluently in English. I will be continuing in Hindi, because we were having 10 plus countries, school students on the WebEx as well connected. And I was like, okay, ma'am, it's fine. I will translate for you. Don't worry about it. So just go ahead. So she just started saying, good evening, everyone. Good evening to all parents, teachers, and volunteers and team members, students who are available here. And right away after that, She broke into tears. Now, the emotional happiness which you get as a volunteer, the impact you created is actually being, I would say, seen on the faces of parents right away. I didn't ask for any registration fees. I never ask for any registration fees when I do activities because I believe that knowledge is for free. Why they would give us $100 or $200 to join this event if the knowledge is free on internet? Why they're respecting us, right? So have your events free so that you don't see that particular pain for being a school student, how they can get a range of that 100 rupees or 200 rupees, right? I'm not saying that they are poor enough, but as an IEEE young professional, right, it's our duty and it's our respect to them that we should not ask for money. We know how kind of struggles and challenges would be there being a school student. So that was one of the instances which motivated me to being an IEEE member, continuing that. And the third activity, which was recent one, I was in Coimbatore, right? The one which I mentioned, that is IEEE Learn Compute Camp. So last year in December, November, the call for proposal came up by D&I Committee of Computer Society, and I submitted this proposal focusing on tribal school students to make them aware about very basic thing. So this edition, first edition, which we executed last 4 days before, was on internet safety. Now we know about AI, ML and all the stuff, right? We should not focus on that repeated topic again and again. And they are also having all those resources. We need to make them understand very basic important thing which they are missing. Now now I will ask you, Sahil, when you wake up in the morning, what was the first thing you do?
I'll go and brush.
Oh, is it so? Before brush, you do not touch your mobile phone to check your WhatsApp messages? Right, you do, right?
Huh.
So that's the changing part, right? We say roti kapda makan is one of the important aspect of a human being. But these days, it is about roti kapda makan and network and internet, right? And the main aspect what we brought up this event, Learn Compute Camp, how to learn about computer, how to learn about computing technology. So we brought up this topic, internet safety, to make them tribal school students from Kotagiri to understand why internet is so much important, how you can serve very well, how you can serve in a good way. They should aware about the negative and positive aspect of it. And that's what we did for the 2 days event. So these are the three main initiatives which I lead, and some of the major activities which I am part of as a part of different global initiative which is being initiated by Dr. Ramalata Marimuthu ma'am. She is the past secretary of Computer Society, and she started this activity IEEE SS12, which is a global project competition happening across the globe. We do it this in a two-way. One way is like one step is you become a part as an organization, as a college student branch or a non-IEEE college as well. You join us, you register as a pilot, and then you invite all the students across your college and nearby 5 colleges to conduct a semi-finals. So what is based on? Innovation, prototype making, school students, and focusing on women engineering power, right? Focusing on bringing women into power energy field. And the last one is spatial track. So spatial track is all about understanding what are the different spatial trending technologies going around, how we can solve problem statement around that. And the last very important, which I initiated last year after talking with Ramlata ma'am, that is I engage track. That is industry engagement. So as a part of 5 tracks, we are preparing them to build up an idea to product. And the final track, which is I engage track, we make them connect with the industry and convert them into patents and business startup ideas. So that is what IEEE SS12 is all about. This is the first phase, conducting a semi-finals.
Mhm.
And all across different countries, the ideas are being shortlisted and the finale round is going to be executed, right? And we
Okay.
do this like for the last 7 to 8 years or 10 years. I'm not sure about the correct figure, but these are the number of the years every year we do this. And Dr. Ramalata ma'am is conducting this every year with the support of other volunteers. And this year, the finale going to happen on 2nd and 3rd September in Egypt, Alexandria. So we all will be inviting all the students, and I personally will be going there to coordinating the things on the ground operations. And the second important event which I am part of, which I already told you that I am working closely to women, that is IEEE Returning Mothers Conference. So by the name you can understand, right? Returning Mothers Conference. So the women who are returning after a career break, maybe due to maternity leave or maybe to any other kind of reason, we are helping them to get back onto career track, right? Returning Mothers Conference is all about that. And this year, it's going to happen in 26th and 27th October in North Cap University, Gurugram, Haryana. So all the listeners who are nearby to the location, or if you're interested into this concept, please feel free to hop in and join us in North Cap University, Gurugram, Haryana. So these are the major 5 activities which I have been part of, and I am helping out being an IEEE YP to contribute back to the society.
The points that you put up regarding the students and young professionals transition, it has been of utmost importance, I must say, because as someone who has recently started working, my experiences as a volunteer at IEEE, I would say they have been helping me a little bit to establish a good rapport with my seniors at my workplace, and it is helping me to interact, learn, and get a network better with them, because that is something which helps a lot at work, to having a good network with your seniors. Also, I must say that the upliftment of women in engineering is of holds a lot of importance, I must say, in today's times, and a lot of various WIAGs have been doing a commendable job in doing that. As we know, you are someone who has worked with a very diverse set of individuals and have a vast experience in IEEE. Can you tell us some of your notable experiences while volunteering for this organization?
So very interesting one, I would say. Let me take you to back to December session of mine, like when I executed Quadatech Talk 8th edition in Chile, South America. In South America, like in the Chile, Santiago specifically, in that country, people don't speak English very well. Okay, they speak Spanish. So when I was going from Delhi to Amsterdam, I was having all Indians around me in the flight. When I went from Amsterdam to Argentina and Argentina to Santiago, Chile, I didn't find a single person who was speaking English well. And when I landed in the airport of Santiago, and that was like I arrived outside. It was a complete new country. I was alone, and I went outside and near to the Starbucks. There was an outlet there, and I waited there just to book some Uber. Okay, and I booked a Uber, and that driver replied back in Spanish in Uber application. And being a computer science engineer, we can use technology, right? And I'm going to using Google keyboard to translate all my wordings. I was translating saying that, hey, I am standing in near to Starbucks, please come here. So I converted that into, translated to Spanish. And that person came near to the Starbucks. He took my bags and we went to the parking lot near to the cab. And I was just opening the left side of door of the car and I didn't see inside. And that person in the behind, he was putting my bag into the back seat and he called me, hey, come here. In this way, he just gave me a signal. I went and he actually used Google Translate and he mentioned, we have to go ahead. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that only. I'm opening the door and I'm sitting inside. When I open the left door and I see inside, oh, that's driver's seat, because I am in US, the driver seats are opposite. So that was kind of a funny story, which happened to be, because it was my first international travel, and that was kind of a, I would say it's a very beautiful experience when you get connected with different diverse background. Talking about the second instance, when I was coming back from board meeting in April, I was from New York to Paris and Paris to Delhi. So when I was sitting in the aircraft from New York to Paris, there was a girl who was sitting beside me and her mother was sitting, and I helped her to put the baggage on the top because it's very heighted on the international crafts. And then she mentioned, oh, you're from India? And I'm like, yeah, I'm from India. And I asked him, asked her, like, have you ever visited India? And she was like, no, it's very dangerous. I was surprised, like, how India is so dangerous for her, because she belongs to South France, and in France, more often, she told me that in France media, India is being shown as very unsafe for women. It has been shown for, like, people are killing each other. There are a lot of protests going on. And I'm like, see, Justin, if you are going to have those perception in your mind about India, without having ever visited to India, you will have perception about a lot of things. I came to US being understanding that US is a very developed country. But US was not on my bucket list ever. On my bucket list, IEEE headquarters visit was on my bucket list. So I would say definitely it's very kind of 0 out of 10, because being a pure vegetarian and US being a developed country, they should help me out to survive very well, right? My stay should be very smooth. I didn't get proper vegetarian food there. and I didn't like they don't use water bottles there. When I called the receptionist, say my water bottles has been finished. Can you please give me more water bottles? And receptionist was like, why do you need water bottle? I'm like, to drink water, obviously. And she was like, no, you don't need water bottle in US. You have to drink water from your wash basin in bathroom. I was like, from the tap? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, why? We are Indians. We are habitual of having filtered and mineral water of RO water, right? And she was like, no, no, no,
Yeah.
not in US. The water which is coming out of tap itself is so filtered and healthy that you can drink it directly. So those are the different instances which you see. And when Justin, who was sitting beside me in the craft, she mentioned me about her, like, I'm a pre-university student teaching 11 to 13 years old students in South France in Marshall. And I was like, oh, that's great. And we were like, still, like, we haven't taken off, we haven't took off. And we were still on the aircraft itself, in the parking, in the hangar. And I just opened my phone and I told her, hey, see, I'm a board member of IEEE Pre-University and I'm a part of IEEE Tri-Engineering team. This is one of the portals we actually have developed in IEEE for the non-IEEE Pre-University students, teachers, educators, and volunteers. Now, you being a pre-university teacher, feel free to use this. There are a lot of lesson plans. There are a lot of resources. Now you see, right, the inspiration of being an IEEE member, you can spread amongst strangers as well. So I was alone on the craft, right? I made being an IEEE member, we are so extrovert and we are so open and transparent to talk with people, to share knowledge. And I was just talking with her and her mother also got excited. Oh, that's great. Great resources you have in IEEE Tri-Engineering about pre-university education. And we just recently, she invited me out virtually to join in her class to
Oh,
make students understand about India and how beautiful India is and all about different places, states, different languages. And a lot of students in that particular, in her school, they were asking, oh, you are from India. Can you speak in Indian language? Can you please let us know where is Taj Mahal? Can you please let us know a different kind of exciting Indian question, right? So I really loved it. So that's how I would say, whenever you're traveling for IEEE for like being alone, try to find some stranger across you with whom you can make connection. Otherwise, your travel of 16 hours or 17 hours of flight gonna be so boring. So these are the different diverse experiences which I had in IEEE. And obviously it's ongoing. Wherever I go on aircraft, within India, within domestic or international flights, I keep making friends.
Oh, that's a very heartwarming experience, I must say. I also have a very similar such experience. So last year when IEEE Bombay section organized the Region 10 symposium, the 10 Sim 2022, I had the opportunity to be a volunteer for this conference. And there were three researchers who had came in from Philippines. They were staying here in Mumbai and they wanted to explore the city more and also came here for the conference. So after the conference was over, they wanted to connect with us. They were quite happy with the way the conference was being organized. So we all went out for a lunch, and there was a exchange of culture. There was an exchange of experiences that happened, which was quite memorable. I remember after the lunch we all gave them signed note. They had a 50 rupees note. They were going to some other city, I guess, and they had a 50 rupees note. And so all of us, like, we were like 10 or so people, and every one of us signed on their notes, and they were quite happy to take back a memorable souvenir with them. So I believe, like, you get to interact not just with people from the country, from your local area, but you also get to interact with people from other countries and get an experience that you would never get somewhere else. So that's something I would like to share.
Yeah, so as IEEE president as always say, right, he always pressurize and emphasize on this point, IEEE is your professional home. I truly and agree on that point. Now talking about the diversity which we had, right? These are some of the things which you have to understand. In your career, not only technical skills is required, right? We have heard about IQ, we have heard about EQ. What about DQ? Diversity constant, right? I have learned this from one of the professors from IIT Guwahati, Dr. John Shosh sir. He's into IEEE India Council last year when I was the editor of the newsletter IC Vani. And John sir mentioned me in Kerala IndyCon number 2022. We were sitting in the reception and we were just chit-chatting in the evening. And he mentioned Ramnik, wherever you go, you just focus on how you can increase your DQ. Connect with different culture people, connect with at least 50 people in a single event for 2 days so that you have the connection. You have to understand what are the different culture, food, and all those kind of things are there. Being a part of technical aspect, it's okay. You can be strong enough technically. Your company will train you. You can always self-learn from all those kind of technology. What about non-technical stuff? I have seen, and I guess many of the listeners will agree on this point, that being a technical person, it's all good. But when you are going to represent some technical project or pitch in some prototype or project in front of your client or a customer as part of your career or professional organization, you tend to be not so much confident. Why is it so? Because you don't have a speaking skills. You don't know how to be confident, how you can use your body language, how you can use your hands to talk with your client, how you have to properly present your skills, right? These are the important things I would say. IEEE is giving us a lot. Maybe community, let's say about Procom Society, Professional Communication Society we have, IEEE Young Professionals we have different kind of communities and different kind of affinity groups which help us out to grow interpersonally as well. And that's where I think IEEE has a great elevator to elevate to ourselves to the next level of career. And one of the major thing which I would highlight here, as I mentioned, I was in IEEE headquarters, New Jersey. I went to the history center on the basement, and you won't believe I saw the real prototype of Alexander Graham Bell telephone in person. I saw I
Right.
witnessed the Thomas Alva Edison bulb intensity prototype. All those kind of inventors prototypes when you see in person, right, sitting in the rack of a library, history library, it gives you more, I would say it makes you more proud being an engineer that, oh, we are proud IEEE members. Now, being a young professional or being a graduated student member, you have to understand how you can use IEEE for yourself and how you can use IEEE for contributing back to society. That's one of the top tip I would like to give them. And please do what you love rather than being pressurized from your relatives, being pressurized from your parents that this domain is trending. Please don't do that because you will be at the age of 20 or 22 or 23, right, when you're going to enter into industry. And till 30 or 40, you will try to get settled, right? That part is very crucial. So understand how you can convert that using IEEE. Do what you love and please don't go with the trending rat race that, okay, machine learning is high, artificial intelligence is high, I will get into it. That not at all. Please understand your own passion. Please understand where you are liking yourself and where you are very comfort and you are like on a logical scale level as well as practical level from a financial level as well. You should understand which is the domain where you are passionate about and please do that. That is the one of the best advice I would like to share with all the new YPs.
Thank you so much, Ramneek. As we are about to conclude this podcast episode, I would like to say that it was a very wonderful experience talking to you. I got to learn lot of new things, and a lot of things that I would like to go ahead and explore as I conclude this podcast. Also, I am very sure that the audience must have had a very rewarding experience while listening to this podcast. So, Ramneek, before I conclude, I would like to say that Ramneek's dedication to make a positive impact and his dedication to innovation have shown us that with passion, we can shape a better future for everyone. His stories and challenges remind us that it's not just about the destination, but also the journey that truly matters. We want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Ramneek for sharing his valuable time, experiences, and wisdom with us. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling adventure with Ramneek Kalra. And be sure to stay tuned for more captivating episodes of Resonate. We hope this episode of Resonate has left you energized, inspired, and ready to embark on your own journey of impact and innovation. Remember, the power to create change lies within each and every one of us. Together, let's embrace the power of resonance and create a symphony of ideas that will reverberate throughout the world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep pushing boundaries, and keep resonating with the world of IEEE. This is your host Sahil Sawan signing off. stay curious, and keep making a difference.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sahil, for inviting, and thank you so much to IEEE Young Professional Bombay section for getting me up for this podcast. We'll surely be looking forward. Everyone, please take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.